If your life feels heavy right now, there's a reason for that. And it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're broken. And it's not because you lack motivation. What's really happening is your nervous system doesn't have enough energy available to create the future you want. Let me explain. Now imagine your entire life's energy represented as a single cube. And every square inside that cube is fuel that you can use to build your businesses, build your work, build your relationships, your confidence, your future, and even your family. But here's the problem. By the time most people reach their 40s, 50s, or 60s, somewhere between 60 and 80% of those squares are already gone. Not destroyed, just locked away. And I'm going to show you exactly where the energy went and how to get it back. Positive thinking alone doesn't work. Affirmations don't work. And for a lot of people, even therapy doesn't fully work. Not because these things are bad, but because they're treating the symptom, not the source, not the root cause. So the real reason you feel stuck has nothing to do with your mindset. It has everything to do with your nervous system. And once you understand what I'm about to show you, everything changes. I'm Malhotra, and I help change seekers, high performers, and even people in transition unlock the hidden mental barriers that keep them stuck. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a concept that I call the energy cube. It's a simple model that explains why life feels so heavy, and more importantly, it shows you exactly what to do about it. And we're going to cover where your energy actually goes, why traditional approaches often fail, and the systematic method that we use to get that energy back. So let's get into it. See, your nervous system needs energy to create everything in your life for the process of creation, like your career, your business, your money, your relationships, your confidence, your focus, your motivation. See, everything is energy. Even emotion is energy. We're all here to create. We're creating love, joy, businesses, families, healing, connection. That's what life is. And even though energy itself is infinite, your nervous system has limits on how much it can access at any given time. And when that energy is not available, people feel stuck. They feel that stop-start pattern. Doubt creeps in. Tiredness sets in. And often without knowing why. And that's why people say things like, I know what I should do, but I just cannot do it. Or, I want my mojo back. Or, I'm not done yet, but something's holding me back. See, it's like driving a car with the handbrake on, or carrying a 400-pound bag while trying to walk forward. Eventually, you stop. Not because you want to, but because you have to. Now, here's where it gets interesting. See, I explain this using what I call the energy cube. Imagine a big square divided into lots of smaller squares, just like a grid. And let's have this represent your nervous system's available energy across your entire life. And let's say top left is straight after birth. Bottom right is the end of life. And all that white space in between, that's the energy you use to build your future. But here's what happens in real life. Let's say at age 4, something significant happens. A big emotional event. And if that event had multiple negative emotions on it, you can cross out a few squares. Now, these aren't everyday emotions or everyday events. This isn't like getting annoyed because of a telemarketing call. These are what we call significant emotional events, or SEEs. They carry strong emotional charge. And they often carry a cocktail of emotions like anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, or even shame. Now, let's say at 7, maybe there's a death in the family. Or there's mom and dad fighting, money stress at home, at school, a bullying or embarrassment. As a teenager, girlfriend-boyfriend issues involving rejection or shame. Later, bad bosses, business failures, betrayals, divorces, then parenting stress, health scares, financial shocks. Each time, more squares get crossed out. See, by the time people reach their 30s, 40s, or 50s, sometimes 60, 70, or even 80% of their energy is gone, not destroyed, just unavailable for the future. See, that energy is being used to keep the past alive. So how do you know if your energy is stuck? Well, here's the test. Think about an event from your past. And as you think about it, if you start to feel emotions in your body or even tears come to your eyes, or you feel tightness or shortness in breathing, heaviness, or even fear in your body. That tells us energy is still allocated there. See, the memory is not neutral. It's still charged, and that charge is using up your available energy. But here's something most people don't realize. Every significant emotional event, or SEE, doesn't just store emotion. It also has beliefs and decisions attached to it. A belief about yourself, about other people, about money, about safety, about what's possible as a result of that event. And those beliefs or decisions, they get locked into the nervous system at the same time as the event. So think about your own energy cube right now. What percentage would you say is still available to you? Drop a number in the comments. Now, this next part is what most people get wrong. And it's exactly why they stay stuck for years, sometimes decades. This is why positive thinking, affirmations, reading books, or doing personal development programs often don't work long term. It's also why simply talking about it doesn't always work, and why therapy for many people doesn't fully resolve it. Because people either don't clearly identify the significant emotional events, or they intellectualize them, or they suppress them and say, I'm not going there. Or they say, that's part of my story. I used to feel the same way. But going back to that story, feeling that emotion over and over again was hurting me in ways I didn't even realize. See, the nervous system keeps a snapshot of everything. And the subconscious mind, it does not know the difference between past or present. It doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. So the body keeps reacting as if the event is still happening right now, in this moment. And that's why this work is less about therapy and more about performance and life transition. It's not about digging endlessly into the past. It's about removing those hidden mental barriers, those mental weeds that people often cannot even see. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, okay, but how do I actually clear my energy cube? I've put together a free training that walks through the whole process. The link is in the description if you want to go deeper. But first, let me give you the overview of how this actually works. The energy cube method. So what do we actually do about this? This is where the energy cube method comes in. It's a systematic, mechanical process. We disconnect the emotional charge from the memory. You can still remember the event, you can still talk about it, but it feels neutral, like it happened to someone else a long time ago. And at the same time, we replace old limiting beliefs with new empowering ones. And those energy squares, they come back online. And when that happens, people feel lighter. They move again. Motivation returns naturally. Focus improves, and confidence comes back without forcing it. Now, what I've shared with you today is just the concept, the framework, the actual method, the step-by-step process we use to disconnect the emotional charge and replace those limiting beliefs. That's what I talk about in the free training link below. If you're serious about getting your energy back, that's where you want to go next. But before you do, let me tell you who this is really for. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds great, but does it work for someone like me? Now, here's what I found. This works for everyone because everyone collects significant emotional events throughout their life. And I want to be clear about something. This is not about fixing anybody who thinks they're broken, because nobody's broken. I need you to hear that. Ain't nobody broken. What's important to recognize is that there is a structured way to give this energy back to you. So you're back. And we've applied the same model with high performers, business owners, even millionaires, and also with everyday people, moms, dads, people who are rebuilding their lives after divorces, business collapses. Because as you go through life, it's impossible to avoid significant emotional events. The difference is how they're dealt with. Now, this isn't just a high-performance tool, although it really, really helps with that. It's a way of resetting your life, of making new beginnings, of transitioning into the next chapter, especially for people who say, I'm not done yet. And this even shows up in families. People start relationships, marriages, and families with a packed energy cube, no space left. And that affects how we communicate, how we parent, how we relate to the people we love, how we manage our intimate relationships. I have plenty of witnesses. People who came to me stuck, drained, carrying decades of weight. And now they're back. Some of them are on my team now because they've seen the power of this stuff. Now, I personally guarantee you that this is possible. When you get your energy back, you can create something magical from that space. When I ask in seminars, who wants their energy cube cleared? Every single hand goes up, nearly every time, because everyone feels it. You don't need more effort. You don't need another band-aid solution. You need your energy back. And when that happens, everything changes. So here's what I want you to do next. If what I've shared today resonates with you and you are ready to clear your energy cube, I've created a free training that goes much deeper than what I can cover in a YouTube video. In that training, I walk you through how to identify the specific events that are draining your energy, how to know which ones to address first, and the exact process that we use to disconnect the charge and get those energy squares back online. It's completely free. The link is in the description below. And if you already know that you want help with this, if you're done trying to figure it out on your own, there's also a link to book a call with my team. We'll look at your situation, map out your energy cube, and show you exactly what's possible for you. But whatever you do, don't just watch this video and do nothing. That's the old pattern. That's what keeps people stuck. Click the link, watch the training, and let's get your energy back.